on our podcast. I'm Ron.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Dad.
And I'm Daughter.
And this is the What You Say podcast. So today we got, we're doing hot topics, but the main subject is hate, or better way of looking at it is why hate.
Why hate?
Yeah, why hate?
So
we're
talking about the haters.
Not so much as haters.
Well, we gotta put the haters in there with the hate.
Okay, the haters with the hate.
The haters gonna hate.
Okay. So we're talking. Well, so why do we have the haters? So the first thing is this: is somewhere along the line, disagreement.
Yeah.
Disagreement became hate.
Yes.
And so once again, it comes down to. I think it's in the politics.
Yes.
Okay. It's in the different lifestyles.
Yeah.
Okay. The different genders.
Yeah.
And so the thing about it is the question is why?
Yeah.
I mean, why? What happened in our society, in America, in the world that said that because I disagree with you means you hate me?
Okay.
All
right. So to me,
yeah,
society over time had got like too sensitive, real sensitive, like even like to the point where just like pansies, and because when I was growing up, it wasn't a lot of like sugarcoating stuff,
right,
and, like
right.
Like we had bullies.
Yes.
Bullies just bullied.
Yeah.
And they would say what's on their mind, and they wasn't trying to be politically correct.
Yes.
And they wasn't trying to we was rough around the edges.
Right.
We played outside, we played and we didn't have video games.
Right. Yep.
We climbed trees and got in creeks and stuff. And so over time I can see where even in schools, they was like, well, you can't really say that anymore.
Yeah.
Just be careful how you and I feel like that caused us to be like wimpy.
Yes.
It caused us to be wimpy to where we're like covering everything up, like putting pillows under like everything that you say.
Yes.
Make sure that you tiptoe around because
right.
And then with the schools, we used to pray in school.
Right.
And then they got too sensitive where that might not be everybody's religion.
Yeah.
At one point, America was like, if we don't care if it ain't your religion, it's everybody's religion.
Right.
We're going to make it everybody's religion.
Right. Right. Well, one of the things is that, and the thing that come out of this is when you disagree with somebody, the cancel culture came out. Okay.
Yeah.
So what the cancel culture is, right? So the cancel culture is this. If you disagree with me, I got enough folk over here that says I'm going to get them, and we're going to totally cancel your life, your job. It's like the sensitivity. If you say something out the wrong way, the cancel culture will actually have them to fire you.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a real thing?
Yes. Oh, is a real thing.
Wow.
And that's the reason why you have the sensitivity. So let me ask you this question. So let's look at politics, right?
Okay.
So in politics, why do you think people hate President Trump the way they hate President Trump? And first, before you answer that, because in his first presidency, he was actually, when it came to the finances of the country and how well it was doing.
I remember that.
Yeah, he was actually a good president. So why do you think folk hate Trump?
Well, first of all,
I'm
not into politics.
Yeah, she said that.
I don't like it.
Yeah.
It's not so much that I don't like it. It just, I cannot follow it. I can't comprehend it. And when they're talking and they're speaking, it's like a foreign language to me.
Yeah.
Of the controversy that comes with it, because you got two sides just like tearing each other apart.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to figure out why you're trying to tear each other apart and you don't even know this man personally.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's like, you're like ranting and raving and flying flags with the man's name on it. And like you talked to him last night on the phone.
Yeah.
So with the politics, why do they hate President Trump? I mean, I guess because of what he stands for. I guess I'll tell you what.
Yeah.
He's not sensitive.
Right.
To people's feelings.
Right. He don't hold back. He don't hold back.
He's very straightforward.
Yeah.
And how I'm made, I respect it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I really don't like fluff.
Yes.
And
yes.
from one end to the other. Don't play around with me.
Yeah.
Don't fluff it up. Like if I got something on my face, please tell me. Don't be like, well, you might need to go in the mirror. You got something on your face.
Right.
Okay, where is it?
Right. Exactly.
Then I get, exactly. So that's one reason is, with it being such a sensitive country now, and with it being, you got to say things politically correct.
Yeah. You
gotta, you can't. I mean, that I went to a class and there was like a guy that taught it was a transgender man.
Okay.
And so he was teaching us about their culture. And, and listen, I did not knock it. I love the information that I got from it.
Right.
But that's one thing. Politically correct. You can't call, a trans person it. It is going to the store like that and stuff like that. And so, they say politically correct, and you know what? I respect that too, because no person's an it.
Right. Exactly.
But going off of that, just the sensitivity of the nation.
Yeah.
President Trump is far from the sensitivity.
Yeah, so because he came out. One of the first things he said is this: there's only two genders.
Yeah.
A male and a female.
They don't like that. People don't like that.
Right. People don't like that. And see, here's my thing here is this, y'all. My thing here is this. Because once again, I don't belong to any political party. Let me say this. I do follow the politics, because I follow the politics for the simple fact that I want to know what's going on in our country.
Yeah.
I want to know why we do what we do.
Right.
And once again, coming from a biblical perspective, I want to know, why is our country trying to take away my biblical rights?
There you go.
And my biblical beliefs.
Right.
In what the Word of God says.
Right.
Because, the Word of God says, once again, He created male and female.
Right.
So, that's my thing. And see, once again, I'm in a total agreement with you. I'm in agreement with people should be able to, if you feel like, hey, you're a male and you think you're a woman or whatever the case might be, you should be able to, you have the right to have that feeling, but at the same time, I also have the right to disagree.
There you go.
And that disagreement don't mean hate.
It just don't.
That's what, that's one thing we're trying to even talk about on today, y'all, is this, is on what you say is this. We got to get to the place to where if I disagree with you, it don't mean hate.
Right.
At the end of the day, when I shut my doors at night,
yes,
it's me, my family that's in that home.
Right.
What I do in that home, as long as it's not criminal, is my business.
Right.
What you do in your home, as long as it's not criminal, it's your business.
Right.
The problem is that you have a problem with what I'm doing in my home.
Right.
But I can't have a problem with what you're doing in your home.
That's facts.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
So when you tell me that my beliefs and what I believe that the Bible says, and me living by that, you telling me that I'm wrong because I believe what the Bible says, right, and you're right because of your feelings. Well, once again, I respectfully disagree. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
But it don't mean that I hate you.
Right.
And one of the problems that people have with President Trump, and I think you brought it out so perfectly, is that he don't care about what you say about it.
Nope.
He really don't. Because one thing is this, he loves his country.
Yeah.
Once again, so we're not going to really get in there, because y'all going to think, oh, we're going to tune out because he's talking good about Trump. No. I'm saying this, watch over the next couple of years.
Yeah.
See, many of y'all who singing that hate, you'll be singing praise. Okay.
Oh.
Yeah. So let's go from politics. So let's look at the transgender thing.
Okay.
Because I've heard stars say this. You know, they're less than 1%. So what's the big deal about it? Exactly. That's my thing is if they're less than 1%, why does the whole country have to change over less than 1%?
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
And it's not coming against them. I'm just saying, you know, if this a man walks in with a with a dress and once again, like especially in a church how the church is, you walk in with a dress,
yeah,
and they say, hey, and we've had this happen before.
Yeah.
Say, hey, once again, not coming against you,
right?
But our establishment recognize men as men and women as women.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes. And it was somebody that I used to work with a long time ago. That he was part of the community.
Yeah.
Part of the gay community. I respected him so much because you know what he said? He said, I do what I do.
Right.
And he's like, I do it behind closed doors.
Right.
I am out with it.
Yes.
I'm out of the closet with it.
Yes.
But it just ain't that serious for me to go up in a church and, say get married or go up into the church with, a dress on or whatever. He's like, I got enough reverence for God.
Right.
To where, and on top of that, like he said, I am what I am. I do what I do.
Yeah.
It just ain't that serious for me to
to
do that.
Yeah.
I got enough respect for God.
Yeah.
That I'm not gonna walk up in there with a dress as a man, and I'm not gonna go behind. I'm not gonna have a preacher in front of us, have me marry my husband. That's okay for anybody that does that, because again, you can do what you want to do.
That's your choice.
And there's no hate.
Right. And that's what we're trying to bring out.
Yeah, just because I want to marry a man, a woman might want to marry a woman. I feel nothing on the inside.
Right.
No kind of like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Or
yeah.
I don't even, and I don't know if that's cool either, but that's another thing too, that look.
Yeah.
Look, this is another thing.
Okay.
Okay, so you might have a certain amount in the community that will get offended just because I said I don't have no feelings on the inside about it, right?
Yeah.
So you can't, but that's another thing. So if you want me to respect you, as far as saying do what you want to do, I'm cool with it.
Yeah.
But you want to get offended because I'm like, why don't you have any feelings about it? Like, why aren't you like happy about it? That's where you're stepping over my rights.
Right.
You're stepping on my toes.
Right.
Because I'm already telling you that it doesn't bother me.
Right.
And it doesn't have my nose up at you.
And
that's crazy.
Yes.
Give me that much.
Yes.
That's enough for me to give me that, because for you to want me, and I'm telling you, some people that's like, well, I want you to be happy and I want you to feel
right.
That's too much.
Yes. Yes.
And you should give me, I got the right to be like, I feel nothing.
And that's where they say you're hating because you're not happy.
Because I don't feel anything.
Yeah. And
well,
then
it ain't that I'm not happy. It's just the fact that I don't care.
Well, no.
Is it that?
No.
Okay.
No.
It's not that I don't care.
Yeah, no. They're upset because you're not celebrating it.
Right. There it is.
You see what I'm saying?
Right.
And so the thing about it is, but the flip side of what you're saying is somebody, religious person is going to be offended because you're not upset about it.
Yeah. So either way, you can't win.
Yeah. So in other words, the point is how and why are we letting it create hate to mean because I disagree, I don't come in agreement with you. Once again, that's not hate.
Right.
Okay. Hate is when I say you're wrong and you need now. Let's switch this thing, okay? Because I was about to go into something because you got the thing that's going on with Palestine and Israel, right?
Okay.
And so over here in America, we got a whole lot of folk who are protesting on Palestine's behalf.
Okay.
Now, Palestine, their whole thing is that they want to wipe Israel off of the face of the earth.
Wow.
And Hamas, who is a militant, which is an arm of the Palestine. I don't know if you remember this, but they was the one that attacked Israel on that day that caused all this stuff that's going on, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they're tactic killing babies
Yeah.
and all kind of stuff. And so we got folk in America
Mm-hmm.
in colleges, they literally don't know what they're protesting.
You create a company that's like close to being a fascist, and then like,
Okay. How am I?
Sorry.
Let's go through this. How am I a fascist?
dude, like
Can you name one thing I believe that's fascist?
you believe that like you on.
Don't boo. Let him think.
But
I'm such a bad fascist. I let the people who disagree in open mic to talk to me for 2 hours uninterrupted.
Okay.
I'm an awful fascist. I'm more like a free speech liberal of the 1970s, not a fascist.
But
Because what they don't understand, check this out. What they don't understand is this, and this especially in the LGBTQ community.
Okay.
Okay, they don't understand that the Palestinians, that where they rule, that the LGBTQ community,
I heard,
are killed, burned alive,
yes,
hung,
thrown off a building,
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so y'all are protesting in favor of them, not realizing that if they took over America, they would eliminate every LGBTQ and transgender in America.
Wow.
They would kill them with the quickness.
Wow.
And would think nothing about it, because in their mind, their religion is that they are cleansing their land of what they call absolutely wrong.
Wow.
So we literally have in America, in campuses all over America, in these college campuses, that they are protesting Israel.
Wow.
Okay, and they are protesting for Palestine, and they're saying free Palestine. And what Israel is doing is this: Israel is like, listen, we're not going to stop until Hamas is totally destroyed. Okay, so we're not going to stop our military advancement until we know that they can't get back up, build back up to do what they've done to us before.
Right.
But we over here in America is actually protesting for folk, and then you like, once again, you protest for folk that would totally wipe out
your team
a
out.
total part of our society, to where that if you even look gay,
right,
you will be shot, killed, burned, thrown off a building.
Wow.
Now that's hate.
That's true hate.
That is true. True hate is when you are willing to kill people.
There you go.
And just last week, this man goes into Israel. It was a museum for Israel, and kills two people dead. And when the police came and he saw that the video was on him, you know what he yelled out?
What?
Free Palestine. Wow.
So it was an American.
Yes.
That went into an Israel museum?
Yeah, in America.
In America.
In America.
Oh.
Here in America.
Right.
And shot a man and a woman.
And said free
Palestine. And said free Palestine. Mm. And people are going to, remember that's what I said on Sunday. Mm. People are going to celebrate him.
Wow.
But nobody, once again, see, that's true hate.
That's hate.
See, true hate, y'all, is when your belief in something says, because this person don't agree with you, they must die.
Right. Right.
Now that's
not disagreement.
Not disagreement. Die.
Wow.
Because they don't believe the way you believe. Mm. And the reason why they want to kill Israel is because, once again, the true God, remember, come from a biblical perspective, the true and living God, the great I am,
yes,
Israel is his children.
Right.
And so they're like, if we can wipe, and Israel's never going to be wiped out.
Right.
Because, if we can wipe them out, then it's going to justify the God that they call Allah.
Okay.
It's going to justify, but it's never going to happen.
And so who started it? Palestine? Yes. They attacked first?
Yeah. Hamas, because what it is that they both are in the same land. And so Israel says, okay, y'all got this land over here, we got this land here. Mm-hmm. Well, they built up their military or terrorist group called Hamas one day decides to attack Israel, and when they done it, they wiped out a whole community of people.
Wow.
I mean, killing women, children, and babies.
Wow.
Yes, yes. And then we're over here for protesting. We're protesting for Palestine.
Wow.
How crazy is that?
They got to know their beliefs as far as the ones that's protesting for them. I know they got to know that Palestine don't believe in that community now.
Listen,
for them to be,
that's the great ignorance.
Wow.
And that's why we're talking about what we're talking about here, is because once again, see, you got to understand what real hate is and what disagreement is.
That's real good.
Yeah.
That's real good.
Yeah. Because real hate is like, I would kill you because you don't agree with me.
Right. That's true hate.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so.
And real hate is like the slavery days.
Yes.
That's true hate too.
Yes. Yes.
The only problem I have, not particularly with the community.
Yeah.
But the belief system that their struggles is equal to Black people's struggles as far as slavery.
My God.
My mind on that, I'm never going to come against the person and, how they live, because I don't want nobody telling me how I live. So I choose not to tell anybody how they live. But when I come across certain people that be like, hey, we in the same boat.
Right.
We struggling and we suffering just like how the slavery. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah.
I mean, because we don't even have a clue of what really.
Yes.
We've seen a little bit or whatever.
Yeah.
But it was so much worse that we haven't even experienced, seen, or what we could even think of.
Yes.
That was hate on a whole nother level.
Right.
Over some skin.
Yeah.
Over some skin. And like I said, I'm not coming against people.
Yeah.
But that belief right there, because I've had a lot of people come to me and be like, hey, I feel like we together. We equal.
Right.
Why you say that? Because, y'all went through slavery. We going through the same thing. No.
It's nowhere near the same thing.
It can't be.
And it shouldn't even be compared to be the same thing, because it's on a totally different level
of hate.
Right. And see, and the point of it here is this, is that, see, once again, you have this when somebody looks at, because you disagree with me. Now check this out.
Mm-hmm.
That means you hate me, and this is what happens. Now I'm going to hate you.
Right. Yes.
When we never said we hated you.
Right.
And so then that's where the counsel culture coming in. So I'm going to counsel you. I'm going to make sure nobody hires you. In fact, that was a case now this happened years ago. I think the guys came out with a book where it was a cake maker.
Mm-hmm.
And because of his belief, he refused to make a cake for, I think it was a man and one woman get married.
Mm-hmm.
And so, man, they went ham on him. Yeah.
And then he went out of business.
Oh yeah, the business and everything. But here's my point is this. If now this happens to us all the time. If I go to a restaurant, right, and I see they treat me bad because of the color of my skin.
Yes.
I am not going to be boycotting that restaurant.
Right.
Guess what?
I'm not going back. Yeah.
I'm not going back.
Simple.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
I mean, once again, you're not going to get my money.
Right.
Because you didn't want to serve me because of the color of my skin.
Right.
Once again, that's infringing on their beliefs.
Right.
Did I say, now you have to serve me?
Mm-hmm.
You have to serve me because, and I'm going to bring the whole world down and counsel you because you don't serve me. Mm-hmm. No. But here's the biggest problem is this, and we almost finished. But this is what it really comes down to. See, there's a spiritual thing that's working.
Oh, good. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the spiritual thing here is this, is because you disagree with me,
mm-hmm.
it makes me feel like when you was talking about Why can't you be happy for me and everything?
Right.
On the inside, it makes me feel less than.
Mm.
The spiritual thing is what happens is the spirit of inferiority and superiority gets flipped.
Okay. Okay.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
It gets flipped because you now this what's going on in the spirit.
Uh-huh.
Because you disagreeing with me makes me on the inside feel inferior.
Wow.
And because I feel inferior, now I go into anger and rage and hate.
Yes. Yes.
And so now, catch this now, because I'm feeling inferior.
Yeah.
You never, you just said you disagree.
Yeah, that's it.
You never say anything about I'm superior or I'm better than you because I don't agree with you.
Right.
You just said I disagree.
That's it.
And so now on the inside, I got to destroy you because now you, in my mind, in my spirit, have made me feel inferior.
That is a big thing.
That's the root.
Yes.
That's the root.
And it's the root of a lot of issues across the board.
It's the root of all hate.
Wow.
The spirit,
inferiority and superiority.
Yeah, the spirit of inferiority and superiority. You can trace it. You can trace the hate back to name anything about hate, and I can show you how it goes back to. Okay, so let's do the Palestine and Israel. Okay, because Israel has always said we're God's chosen people. It makes the Palestinians, Iranian, all them feel like, well, if you're God's chosen people, that makes us what? Inferior.
Yeah. Make you feel lower, less than.
Make you feel less than.
But in actuality, they're just stating.
They're stating what God said.
They're not saying that you're less than.
Thank you.
They're just saying this is my time. This is my name.
Right.
And you got a name.
Right.
So
Exactly.
I'm just saying my name.
Right.
And you can say your name.
Right. Slavery. Back to inferiority, superiority. At one time, it was determined that brown-skinned people was less than human.
Wow.
Okay. Inferiority, superiority. Let's do rich or poor.
Okay.
The poor hate the rich. Why? Because they make you feel inferior and superior.
Right.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes.
And so the rich hate the poor because it makes them feel, once again, you are inferior, the poor is inferior, and I'm superior.
Okay.
So see, this thing always comes back to the spirit. This is, and see, hate is it's a spiritual issue.
It is.
It's a spiritual issue that when you don't recognize, you thinking it's transgender, it's LGBTQ, it's black and white,
right?
It's rich or poor, it's this country and that country. You know, it's Palestine and Israel.
Yeah.
It's Republican and Democrat.
Yep.
But you can trace it all the way back to the spiritual of inferiority and superiority. And what did Jesus come on the scene and do? Jesus says this. He said, this is how you fight it. You want to know how you fight that hate? For God so loved the world.
Yes.
That he gave his only begotten son.
Right.
Whosoever, black, white, rich, poor, Palestine, Israel, transgender, gay, whosoever believes in him won't perish, but have everlasting life. The way you conquer hate is love.
Is love.
Yes. So in other words, even though folk might even hate stuff we said here on this, right?
Right. Yeah.
But once again, we're going to show them love.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, you show them love because the truth of the matter of it is, you know what I'm saying, is this. All of us woke up today with challenges.
Yes. All
of us woke up today with some struggles. Some of us woke up victorious today. Right. You know, and so that's another form of hate. They see you victorious all the time.
Yep. Happy all the time. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Why? Because your happiness makes me feel inferior.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm just happy because of me. I'm not trying to make you feel any type of way.
Right.
So you feeling some type of way because of my emotion is I hate to say it, it's on that person.
And that's the whole thing. That's the last thing I want to look at is this. The hate ain't coming from other people.
Right.
The hate is coming from within that person.
Yeah.
And you know what it really is?
What?
It's self-hate.
Wow, that's huge.
So when you meet somebody or you encounter somebody or a people or whatever that, you know, it's like you think they're better off.
Yes.
You really ain't hating them.
Mm-hmm.
You're really hating yourself.
Right.
And that's the trick of the enemy.
Yes.
The spiritual enemy.
Right.
That's his trick.
Right.
To make us think that our enemy is that
it's person. On the outside.
Yeah, it's the person that disagrees with us.
Right. Okay.
But when the real enemy is the fact is that I don't have no agreement within myself.
Wow. That's something serious.
Yes.
That's amazing.
So hey y'all, listen. We pray that you will share this. If you got offended in any kind of way, whether your religious spirits or your
part of a community.
Your different community spirits, your country, whatever, all that stuff. Understand this. Let me tell you how we're able to say, listen, we love you.
Yes.
Because the Jesus who saved us is the same Jesus that can save you. And that love delivered us.
Yes.
I can say it delivered me from the spirit of inferiority.
Yeah.
And it caused me to stop hating Caucasian folk.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yes, absolutely.
It caused me to stop looking at them in a different way. And
right.
Y'all think y'all all that, and why you got all the advantages, blah, blah, and all this stuff.
Yeah.
No. When he delivered me and showed me that, guess what? Now I can love everybody.
Everybody.
I can love, guess what? I don't agree with everybody.
Right.
But I can love everybody.
And it's okay.
And it's okay because my disagreement is not hate.
It's just a different way of seeing things.
It's a different way of seeing things. Hey, like, share, subscribe, comment, all those good things. And
if you have anything you want to tell us about this podcast, this episode, you are more than welcome to comment and say your views on it because we like information.
And ask questions.
Ask questions. Yes. Tell us your comments on it.
Yes.
I love information I like to expand my mind. So I love to hear, what you got to say.
Expand your mind.
Y'all please comment.
That's all we have. So, I'm Ron.
I'm Jessica.
I'm Dan.
And I'm Daughter.
And this is the
What You Say
podcast. See you next week. Same Kingdom time, same Kingdom channel.